Hi. I gotta plug into my source, my power source. Ooh, cheers, Jessica. It's my sister's candle, her remembrance, her memorial. I got that too, though. She went by 6. She got left alone too much when she was growing up too, so she was all about support. Runs in the family, I guess. So, oh my goodness, all this Pisces stuff. I was talking to a guy at the animal shelter, Sacred Heart Animal Shelter, the other day, and I get overstimulated, and I'll start to get emotional and start to cry, and I'll just explain to him that I'm fine. I wasn't like this before the 8 anthrax vaccines. It's just how it is, and I rage cry. Like, I'll get freaking so mad and just like, whoa, tears down my face because I don't want to put that on. I don't want to let that anger out and like touch it with another human being or affect life in any kind of way. So I try and dance, but my body just feels like it's just falling apart. If I can make it to 50. If I can make it to 50. It's like a milestone for me, man. How many days do I got? Let's see here. Today is the 29th of March. So there's 2 more days. So there's 11 days. They wanted to induce me on the 1st, and Mom said, no, you ain't doing that to my daughter. She's not going to be no April Fool. I was born in April. I'm still an April Fool. So they took me on the 99th day instead. So I'll be 50 in 11 days. I think I'm going to bring my speaker out if it'll hold up. I got a couple little ones I can bring out. And then have Heyoka dance parties counting down the days in Taos. I think that would be kind of fun. What day is it on? It's on a Tuesday. I was born a Tuesday. Having my Chiron return, just like the country. Country's a Cancer. I got Cancer in my 1st and 2nd house. Capricorn. I mean, I'm just like, well, I'm just along for the ride. I'm just a spectator, so. Yesterday I was laying down because my body hurt so bad. I took a day off yesterday. I didn't do a whole lot of physical stuff. And I took one day off. I didn't do dumbbells. I didn't do nothing. And because of the freaking crap that they put into you, like, if I don't use my muscles, they're like they go away like my mass, my humanness is like it dissolves. That's why it's so important to stay active, man. If you do not use your body, you will lose your ability to use your body. So yesterday I haven't been sleeping at all. At all. Like 2 weeks now. I think that, I don't know, I'm resting, and I don't overexert myself too much, is a shut-in pretty much. So it occurred to me, I looked at the calendar and I was like, it's the end of March. I'm like, what year is it? Holy cow. And I looked it up online and I'm like, we're at the 20-year anniversary. Because I do that a lot. Well, think about where I was in different milestones to measure where I am now, to see if I'm just still doing the same stuff. or if I'm a better version of myself. I think I am. I'm even wearing my pants. I found my pants, my old A bag. I even got my pants on. I bet most of the dudes that I was in the shop with at age, I got the biggest that I ever had, I think, on my life right now. I bet they can't fit into their pants anymore. If they had to put it over their gut, if they had to measure their BMI, I bet they'd be really, really, really fucking far out of standards. Except for the bro Jack. Works at... They have, like, private companies that make fighter jets now. Like, anybody can make... You know, you can't kill people on the street. That's, like, they put people in jail. Like mothers, fathers protect their kids against criminals, and they end up in prison. Yet there's companies that, you know, multi-million, billion-dollar companies that make planes so we can go kill people in other places. And I'm going to talk about my experience with that because 20 years ago, Operation Iraqi bullcrap kicked off. And I'm going to talk about my personal experience as to what that was. And how it really opened my eyes to, wow, America isn't as rad as they give themselves the parades for. And this is what frickin', you know, Larry Hickey was talking about, the crazy vet, you know, that had blackout PTSD and will go crazy and throw mom against the wall and stuff. And this is what they're talking about, you know, Rambo. This, you know, all this stuff, you know, there's all these stories and people get to pick up on what their own truth is and what isn't. And a lot of people have made their truth a narrative that is actually very false. And so I got orders. See, it was coming down the pike. We're going to deploy. Marge, you're going to the island of Crete. Okay, cool, sweet. Fuck, I never thought I'd go to Crete, man. That's where all the, like mythical freaking shit, like, is from. That's where all the that's where all the smart people went and all that stuff, right? Starts with the night before that I go. The people that I had met in fellowship and recovery, they like threw me a party at Kathy Visaki's house. Bunch of people out there the Friday night. Come say goodbye to Marge. She's taking off. Don't know when we'll see her again or if or what, you know. So a bunch of people came through. Take care, in case, you know. It's cool. Later she hung herself in that basement, so... Fucking life is fucking crazy, man. So, and people that act like it's not, I think, wow, God bless you for what you're about to receive. And so I'm on my way home, and this is back in 2003, and I had this Samsung flip phone, and even the girl, Libby, that I had been, like, off, like, I liked her, but she liked somebody else and ended up marrying him and all that stuff, and... whatever, it just wasn't meant to be. And she even called and said, like, you know, but what she called, and then, like, I get a call from my brother. Now, my brother's been in the Army Guard since 1989. He, like, the scariest thing he ever did was, like, he was 18, you know, just went through he went through those riots in 1989. That, you know, I mean, like, he went to Iraq because he was an Army JAG, but all of that, I mean, it was, like, so far after the complex. That was, like, in 2008, 9, when I had his dog, 10. And they go over there, they create, and then they when they promote, and then they get their sign-on bonus, and since they're deployed in a military zone, it's all tax-free, so they don't have to pay taxes on their bonus. It's all a bros club, man. That's all the fucking military. It's so stupid that people don't get this. And the people that really benefit from it, like, they don't talk about it. Because they don't want people to know, like, how hard they didn't work when they worked every day, went to work every day for 20, 25 years, and... You know, you think welfare pays out for having kids? So do military dependents. So I get a call from my brother, and he's like, I just wanted to call to make sure that you signed over that financial power of attorney in case anything that happens to you. You still owe me some money. I want to make sure I get the money that you owe me. And I was like, okay, yeah, it's a done deal. Yeah, it's, I didn't know how I kept saying, could you give me an itemized list of all the money I owe you? Because I gave him like my whole sign-on bonus when I enlisted. Like, I wrote him a check for $3,200 and like what is due to you? Like, really? Like, what do I owe you, brother? Because you watched those kids do those things to me. And then you told me to be quiet because nobody wanted to get in trouble. And when I talked, you would just be like, shut up, Margie. You never supported me, dude. Anyway, so I digress. He's still in the Guard. He's like a lieutenant colonel. And he's still a lawyer for the state of California. And is a millionaire. I said, Jerry, anyway. So, the next day, had to report, go leave from Offutt, gotta go. Got my A bag, and first I get to walk through this line of all this stuff because everybody gives all their stuff to the military members that are going over there to protect our freedom. People have been coming into the United States illegally and shorthandedly from all over the world the whole time. Yet the people are raised in this country. They're a threat to people's freedom to walk around because they're a danger to society. But we go over there in the desert just to take stuff. Just take stuff that doesn't belong to us. So, I get to pack out. I got a Collective Soul CD. And I had my Walkman with the CD, and I would put it in my backpack. This is back in 2003, And then, we get on an airplane. I get on a cargo plane. This always kind of tripped me out. Because all the windows were blocked out. You couldn't see. As far as I'm concerned, I'm on the island of Crete, but I could have been any place else because there's not like it's all Greek. Like I was in a Greek because all the lettering and stuff. Like there's no English signs and stuff. I was a visitor in a foreign land, and so and it was going on. They had protests for the Communist Party and stuff like that. I mean, it was a trippy time. And it felt so much like the Truman story, because I just felt like I was in a tank. Like, I thought the Mediterranean was so much bigger and spatially, but what's actually being there, it's not really that big. And I think it's interesting that Crete is so close to the island of Malta, which is another place where the Bros Club derives from. And that actually is where they built the set for Popeye that I got this tattoo for. Popeye Robin Williams. I am what I am. And I was 539 miles from there. It's very close to there. Anyway, so they put us on a cargo plane, all blocked out. All of our stuffs are in the middle, and then they're tied down by these box things, and people are just finding their spot. People are strewn all over the place. You have the because you got everybody going. You got us, the maintainers. You got the admins. You got the soft hands and the calloused hands all together going over there to support the mission. And so we get there, and or we're flying, and it's I don't have any clock or anything like that. I don't know how much time has passed, and time is weird for me anyway. I really struggle with time. I always have. I have not been on the same timeline as a lot of people for most of my life. So, they wake us up and they say, okay, you guys got to wake up, sit up, drink some water, because you get really dehydrated flying through the ethers. And we got to refuel. So evidently everybody had to be awake for refuel. It was all I could do to stay awake for the 28 minutes or whatever it was to refuel. And then I quickly passed right out. And then I woke up and they're like, okay, we're here. And I get off and there's just like, it's nothing like we ever trained or rehearsed. Nothing. So all the exercises they put us through are just a waste of fucking time, because they teach you one way, but reality is always much different. So I get there, and then they start divvying people up to where they're going to go to stay. And so I get in like a bus or something, and it's so late at night, and I can't see any, or it's like, wait, what time did we get there? Was it? No, it wasn't dark. It was like real early. So we had like a day to settle in, and then the next morning, or no, it was late at night by the time I got to the hotel, because we drove in and I couldn't see a lot and it was dark, and we went back around the backside to like the service entrance and stuff like that. And this hotel, if you look it up, it's called the Panorama. It might be different, but it's in Hania. Chania. They blocked me, and all I said was the staff was really nice to me when I was there for Operation Iraqi Bullcrap, and then they blocked me. Well, it was like, I thought it was a good review, but I guess they, people like endorse the war beast and profit from it, but then they don't want everyone to know that they did. They want, Anyway, so it's like a 4 or 5 star hotel. And then I go to sleep, and I think I had left like and I was an airman basic, and I didn't have even any ranks. Like, so how there were all these other people that like definitely had more. I don't know how I got the gig. It was just how it was supposed to be. So I got the Crete gig, and most everybody else went to another predominant military hotel called the Sun. And it's so funny because it was like the beginning of tourist season. So you have us military members walking around in our uniforms, these hotels and these tourists, while like just a couple short 1,000 miles away, we're decimating freaking a civilization. It's such a trip to me to like have to live both worlds at the same time. And this freaking, I didn't have any rank, but I'm like 30, I'm not a dipshit, and this is a serious time, and people need to be serious. And I was there for we were there total like 39 days. And then the first week I was there, I didn't have any roommate. I had a room all to myself. It was freaking glorious. And then in the middle of the night, like 11 o'clock at night, this woman comes beating on the door. She's comms from a linguist. Not a fan. Not to say that I will never meet it, like a linguist could come to me and be like, you know what, I'm going to change your mind about linguists, and they could. But up until this point, every linguist I've ever met, not impressed. And I had to be up at freaking 4:30 every morning, because I had to go support the site, and she's just there to freaking fly around, collect a paycheck, eavesdrop on conversations, and fuck some boys that are younger than her that she had no business messing with, because it's fraternization, because she's a tech sergeant and like the reserve, and that's what the military is. It's like a big hookup for so many people. It's disgusting and gross. It's just how people's relatives behave. I didn't act like that way. That's why my brother went to Iraq for a year, is because all the people that go over there, it's against the military UCMJ to cheat on your spouse, and everybody looks at it as a free-for-all. I don't do it. They do. I just talk about what they do, and they get mad at me for talking about what they do, but stop fucking doing that shit. And then they pay themselves. Tax-free. Want up here, bud? Want up here, bud? Good boy. Good boy. Good doggy. Here, bud. Luna, you be sweet. That's Tucker, your boyfriend. Oh, that's Benny. Come on. Oh, Benny wanted up there. Sorry, Benno. Why don't you go back and lay with Grandma Retta? There. Turn the fans on. And so this chick comes in like really late, and then she's so loud. I'm trying to sleep. She's not being courteous at all. And she like gets in the shower and she takes like a 45-minute. It was just so. And then she goes and lays down, and it's like 2:30 in the morning, and then like some lieutenant comes knocking on the door to see if she's around, like, hey, you want to go play? You know, like, dude, I gotta fucking go like to war in the morning. You people are fucking here hooking up. I like this, okay, you know, I'm baffled by this. And then so, since I was already established in the room, what I did is I'd wake up in the morning, and as soon as I got up, I'd turn on the TV and then turn the volume down and use the light from the TV so I could get dressed and stuff. And I'd just put on my uniform and go out the door. I would take less than 10 minutes. And I go on the flight line about my business, doing my bullshit work, and some fucking machismo dude comes in because he's trying to impress the girl that's my roommate, I guess. Some guy, and he's like, Airman hashtag! Like, you should have fucking seen this shit. Like, there's like one of those little bathroom windows, and I was like doing paperwork. I was doing something in this room with Sergeant Phillips, the dude that was permanent party there at Suda Bay. And he's like, Airman hashtag! And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, I'm supposed to be some 18-year-old kid that's going to piss myself because scary dad man is going to come and yell at me. And I was like, what? Like, yeah? And he's like, I'm going to bring you up on insubordination charges. And she was on rest. You know, the woman was on orders of rest hours. And you were disruptive of her rest hours by turning on the television and just like laying into me. And I'm like, the military's complete horseshit. You're horseshit. The fact that you're in my fucking face for this shit right now is so fucking stupid. But you can't punch people in the face. And I'm an airman basic, and he was like some senior master dick face. So no, I don't have respect for rank or people that say they have more authority than me. Because you put anybody that fucking acts like that and me out in a fucking forest, I guarantee I will make it back to civilization before you. Because I've been surviving my whole life. So after that little stint of her trying to fucking bring me up on insubordination charges, other things that I got to do while I was on the island of Crete for Operation Iraqi bullshit, I got to witness what happens when the young men of the United States of America, the Marines, I saw 556, I think it was. That's how I think it was. So they fit them all in a hangar. They dropped them off in Iraq for shock and awe. They did their man thing, what men do in war, what America has for parades for and celebrates so pridefully. And then they brought them back to the island of Crete because they didn't know what to do with them now. These guys are fucking shell-shocked. They're like, we can't believe the little baby boy that mama raised just did what we just did. And so many of them got their rocks off. So many of them, like a dog, got a taste for blood and decided they want more. And then they came back into that hangar, and then they had to sit with themselves and think about what they did. And they, you know, they're all like, oh God, there were no weapons of mass destruction. Oh my God, those people are no threat to us. Oh my God, what did we just do? Oh my, these guys were having fucking, their mentalities were melting down, and I'm just doing my periodic inspection and bringing equipment to planes, and oh look, who's that guy? There's a guy walking a across the flight line. I better stop and see if he needs a ride. He's got all of his bags and stuff. So I stop and, so you need a ride? He's like, yeah. He's like, people just kept driving past me. I'm carrying all this stuff. And I was like, where are you going? He's like, right over there. I look over. Now, this is back when I was highly impressed by this shit. You gotta understand. I'm not anymore, but one time, this is like, man, this is cool fucking shit. Like, dude, I'm at work. Look at all these Humvees. It's all the recognitions I got later that I came to. I fucking hate Humvees and people drive them, man. They suck. Anyway, and I said, you're going right over there? He's like, yeah. I said, you mean to that B-1 bomber right there? He's like, yeah. I was like, you're the fucking pilot of the B-1. He's like, yeah. I say, hey, can I go in the... Oh. I said, can I go in the cockpit? He's like, yeah, sure. I don't have clearance for that. But you don't need clearance to get around. I mean, you people... As long as you're cool, you can get your fucking way in life. You don't need a fucking piece of paper that says you're okay to do shit. You know? And so I go climbing up the ladder into the cockpit, and I was just sitting there for a minute, and I was like, holy shit. And I'm looking at the fucking base that it's pointed at, you know? And when that fucker... That's the plane that when it takes off, it sets off car alarms. Like, boom! Like, it's... And then it was some years later after I started this YouTube video, you could see... I tell that story, and then you could see where I have the realization that I'm in the same seat where a dude gleefully, because he was told to, volunteered to take the souls of so many for no good particular reason, and you could see it wash over me. I turned white. It was a hard day. That was a hard realization for me, because later, back at my duty station at Offutt, I saw the videos, because they'd pass around videos in the military, like offices pass around little kitten videos in Corp America. Oh, look at this kitty video. No, except the videos are different. The videos are the same videos that Assange guy came across, and it's just like, dude, this shit ain't cool. It's those videos. Those are the videos that they would pass around the work center. So I watched dudes watch the video and be all, yeah! When a dude was in the cockpit of a B-1 bomber and he was shooting Iraqi civilians, laughing like, they're on video, like he's playing a video game. It was I said, I'm done with my 6. I'm done. I can't be a part of this. I said, because I had to enlist to go to college, because I knew I was always going to have to take care of my mom. She did a good job taking care of her for a long time. But now she needs my support now. And so, because people haven't done her no favors in life either. So, I was there for 39 days. Everybody else had to work the whole time. We had enough age there because Jack came over from Turkey. I was supposed to go to Turkey. And then there were the occasions where, like, the National Guardsmen from like, San Bernardino, who my brother was, like, I don't know if it's the same guard unit, but later my brothers told me he was being a commander of a guard outfit down by San Bernardino. But that would be funny coincidence. Or synchronicity, rather. But these guys, they had enough age coverage that I would work 4 days on and 3 days off, 12-hour shifts. But it takes, like you got to drive, like, you have to travel in civilian, so you have to leave an hour early. And, I mean, so 12-hour days are more like 16-hour days kind of thing. But I still had 4 days on, 3 days off. So I'd go sit by the infinity pool and play tourist, basically. So, like, I'm supporting a war, but I'm playing tourist. And I'd walk into where the little shops were. We went in. I was newly sober. I was only like 7 months sober at this time. And I remember, like, I was the sober driver and took some of the crew into town when things started slowing down a little, when we were bombing less and things like that, and more people were getting like a day off here and there, and like these military police would come out and like yell at us to get back to our hotel, and there's a curfew, and they're just fucking asshole cops, man. Dude, let me tell you about security, like police. This is my whole thing about police. It's a whole group. Most of the police that are on the force have gone through this path. Whether they do 2 years as like in the military police, or they do 20 years and they get out, they go back, and they take themselves with them, their personality the whole time. People talk about all the good cops. I said, there's so many good cops. How come they let the bad ones do so much shitty shit? Oh, it's all the same fraternal brother of horse crap for their allegiance and their ritual and their man love stuff. So, I ain't into it. Man clubs ain't never done me no good. Not into none of them. Women clubs never done me no good. Not into any of clubs. Never done me no good. Not into any of them. So, where was I going with that? I lost my train of thought. And you know, it's funny. It's to a collective song, a collective soul song. So yeah, the guards group. So these guys, and I was cool. I mean, I was cool with everybody, you know. People aren't cool to me, but I'm cool to them. And then later I find out they're making fun of me, and I just can't tell. And I'm like, okay, how other people treat me is none of my business. Whatever. So these guys, they're all guard from the San Bernardino area, and they had one plane. That's where there's like all the like 6 guys, 7 guys there for one plane, right? And they sat there most of the time. And they're all really overweight, and they you know, and they just right? But what they did, and they could have taken me with them. That's the thing, is like, it's no problem if I talk about this so openly about this shit, because they could have taken me with them, and I would have been like, you know what, those guys are cool. But my whole life, fucking people didn't take me with them. So I'm like, well, this is how they suck, and this is how that sucks, and that's not fair, and that's unjust, and they're, I guess, Chiron and Aries. Police are the second lowest second lowest test score on the military entrance exam, next to the people that wash the laundry at the gym, the towels at the gym, and wipe down the equipment and make the battered eggs and vacuum the hallways and shit like that. Second lowest. They like them nice and dumb, and they just, you know, dumb people do whatever they want. They don't have. That's what makes them dumb, is they don't have the self-restraint. They have just live from ego. So they put them in positions where they can do whatever they want, and a lot of people choose to treat people pretty bad and to break things and be destructive and cause harm. Most people aren't like that. A lot of people are. So my experience with police, they're fucking bully asshole dickheads and haven't really done me a whole lot of favor. And then they go back and then they go work back at home where their police shops are. And they know who all the crime, and it's like, you know who the crime, you know who the hot spots are, you know all this because you grew up here yourself, you know what the problems are, you just become part of it because it's more profitable, become part of the problem. They don't ever want to eradicate crime, they won't get elected paycheck. Yet they keep getting more and more gear. More and more high-tech equipment, more cameras, more this. We need more allocated funds to protect you from this, that, and the other thing. Yet you give more people free will to do what they want, and then society tumbles more. That don't seem to make very much sense to me. Someone can explain it if they want. You don't kill people. You just don't kill people. You don't harm people. We're supposed to be the custodians on the earth. We are not even at the top of the food chain. We think we're at the top of the food chain because we have thumbs and can make thought into action, real life. What people choose to make real is fucking bizarre and selfish and greedy and gross in so many ways. I want to take a moment to read a comment I got today. PETA. Ooh, dating your mom's ex, yucky. I'm like, oh no. My neighbor, no, she did not date her mother's ex. She started dating the dude that her mother was dating while her mother was still dating the dude. And then dude's like, ooh, and daughter were all down to date mom together. It was just, this place is weird, man. There's so much creepy stuff. Alcohol, drugs makes people do freaking nasty stuff. I'm a prude, dude. I'm prude through and through. Proud prude. I did get this comment from someone. Libby1272, thank you. I appreciate this comment. It is nice to read. I'll have to go look at her channel. She said, it was nice to listen to you. We are just animals, and I don't think our society believes that. We are putting ourselves above the circle of life. She couldn't be more right. And I believe that's perpetuating this problem of selfish desires and ego. The planet is run by criminals, and the only thing we can do is love our neighbors. My neighbors don't make it easy to love them, so I'm trying to find a safe place for me and mom to have more lovable neighbors, because they ain't going to change. The planet, and help. Okay, the only thing we can do is love our neighbors and be a help to our community. Please keep doing all the good things you're doing. With love from Vermont. That was really cool. Because I don't get a lot of comments. People, I'm like a fish. People just come past my freaking tank every now and again. They don't freaking stop through and hang out a whole lot. Not a lot. Some do. I got a couple people that have been around since Oregon. And I was in Oregon 3 years ago now. Life is a trip, man. Life is a trip. So that was my time 20 years ago. I can't believe. And people are. I looked through and I was like looking for hashtags like 20 years ago. And stuff like that, and there's nobody's talking about the beginning of the, they just celebrate all the wars, put them all together. I guess they're not, more excited about the decimation of one land over another. But so many people, dude, you know how rich fucking officers are in the military are? We're talking fucking rich, because most of these dudes, like, bought a house where they could go where they could get orders. It's all a racket. I got a cousin that I met since we lived here in the last year and a half. We've been to our house, sat with Mom on Memorial Day of all days. He got out of Vietnam because he knew a senator, so he got his orders changed. So he didn't have to go to Vietnam. I think he got to go to some, like, Hawaii or someplace. So it's like, if you know the right... Everything is stacked, man. Everything is scripted. You got the right... And that's the thing, is, like, they could have taken me along with them, and they didn't. My brother could have made sure that his little sister has been, okay this whole time. He didn't do it. And the people that don't take care of people are going to end up at some point in their lives needing people to take care of, and those people aren't going to be there, and they're going to be like, holy shit, this is happening because I have been so selfish in my life. Unless they're completely void of spirit, but then who knows. So, anyway... I guess that's about it. 20 years ago, 30 years old, I went to war. I'm going to go out today and I'm going to pass by all these people and I'm going to be like, hey, you ever been to war? You ever go to war? You ever go to war? You know what it's like? You know what it's about? That's why I don't like that show MASH. I used to when I was a kid, but then we didn't get to watch it a whole lot because that's like, no. Okay, time for bed, kids. Don't want to be around kids no more. But it's 7:30. The sun's still out. We don't care. Go to bed. But that's why so many people like drive Jeeps, is because of made up military conflicts. Like, I drove a Jeep back in the Korean War, and then they manufactured Jeep on, in the United States to look, you gotta be prideful and drive a heap, and I'm like, heaps of creeps drive Jeeps. And then they're not practical. They're not good. They're not they're a phase. People dip their toe into that world. Some people, usually military families are the ones that like, I got a J6 or whatever for college graduation, like my ex-girlfriend did. Her uncle was fucking in the military and then got a second retirement from working in the Pentagon. He's a gazillionaire several times over from killing people in places we have no business in. I mean, everything that her family has is because of his money, and it's all blood money. And you think that people would get to the point at some point that they feel bad about having all this blood money if they really got his soul and his spirit, however you look at it, to go and be like, you know what, I got to make it right. What, they never watched It's a Wonderful Life? You don't know for all this, what you sow, you reap? And people are reaping, man. People are going to be fucking reaping like crazy soon. I got to go to the freaking vet this morning, and basically I just want to walk in, swipe my card, get my pills, and be like out. I'm not friends with people. I'm trying to make friends, and everybody's about business and money. And so you're going to get business. People are just going to get the business end of Marge. Yeah. Because I'm tired of fucking one-way streets. But it was good to talk to. I was messaging with my buddy Jeff yesterday. Hope you're good, homie. It was good to kind of catch up with a little bit. I'd like to voice, like, chat, because I hate text message and shit like that. But, got our feedback draft. Send feedback by April 3rd. Okay, so I'm going to put together an official fucking document, PowerPoint, whatever. What does Apple have? What do you do? What's their anyway, I'll figure it out. Of them helping me secure a property where fucking transients can come and live clean lives and not have to live in fucking tents and shit like that. So, because the cracks of society are only getting wider, and all of the fucking all systems are pointing at Marge. You can't just freaking sit here and do nothing. You can. You got all these ancestors yelling at you, saying, giving them ways to do it different, because doing the same thing over and over just keeps people coming to Taos to live in a people zoo to just watch how people haven't evolved. Anyway, that's about all I got for now. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you have a rad day. Peace.